All right, here we are with the second episode of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Podcast. It's a little over a month later, and we finally got the second recording. And I'm here with Dean, and I'm here with Chris. And why don't you guys tell me a little about yourselves?
Oh, gosh. I didn't know I was on the spot.
It's okay.
Well, I served in the Marine Corps for 5 years active duty. I did 5 years reserves. Got out of active duty back in 2012. I was an intelligence analyst for the Marine Corps, which was exciting. Mm-hmm. We got to watch a bunch of stuff blow up. Mm-hmm. Wrote a lot of papers. Mm-hmm. Pencil pusher, basically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What else do you want to know?
No, I mean, how long did you spend in the military or the Marines?
Yeah, so got out of active duty 2012, then decided I didn't want to go full civilian, so I stayed in the reserves, which was a mistake. Mm-hmm. I hated the reserves, but yeah, I stuck with it for 5 years. And I was finally tired of it last year, and I said, yeah, I'm going to raise my family and go full civilian.
Yeah. So where are you from originally?
Ohio.
What brought you to Texas?
Long story, man.
It's a big transition.
Long story.
Well, let's hear a little bit of it.
My ex-wife is from here.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell.
Okay. That's what it is. We'll leave that as is. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, so I did a couple of different things in the military. I started out as a mechanic in the reserves, and then I knew right away that was, I wanted to do something different. Other than that, I still enjoy like cars and stuff like that and mechanical things and all that. But because I knew nothing about the Army when I joined, and it wasn't until like the second week of basic training when I was like, okay, being a mechanic is cool, and doing that for the Army, I want to do something different. So kind of the short story is. I reclassed to infantry, went active duty, reclassed to infantry, and then, went to airborne school, Special Forces Assessment and Selection, went through the Q course and all that, and then I spent most of my time on active duty in 3rd Special Forces Group as a Green Beret. Altogether, close to 10 years in the Army, and then I did contracting work for a couple years afterwards. Still deploying, still supporting special operations, and then did my own business thing for a while, and volunteered for Team RWB, and then a few years later was hired as a part of the full-time staff for Team White and Blue.
No, that's awesome. So, how long have you been in College Station?
2013. So,
are you originally from here?
No, I grew up in a really small town closer to Houston.
Okay.
I was going to school here one of like the 3 times that I went to A&M, or 4 times, something like that. Around 2000 time frame, and was living in College Station at the time. But both me and my wife have family scattered from the College Station area all the way into Houston. So when I left contracting, we were looking to be around family and stuff was really the whole thing, how we ended up back in this area.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've only been here for a year or so, and I met you guys through Team RWB. Well, specifically, I met you, Chris, at CrossFit, and I met you, at the gun range, and it's kind of turned into a little family, It was like, wow, everyone's so close linked together, and so given that it's my second podcast, I wanted to interview you guys because it's like a small community, but it's also a big veteran community too. Like there's a lot of veterans for how small this area is. And before we go on any further, it's just wanted to say that the views represented in this podcast are their own, and they're not that of any Team RWB or GORUCK or any other organization, and just to make sure that we're not offending anyone or, pissing anyone off, and there will be some cuss words. We are veterans, so don't get offended. It'll be a little bit cleaner than the first episode, but, anyway, so.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. That means it's going south. Real fast. Anyway, so how long have you guys been with the Team RWB, locally?
Well, I think I joined RWB back in 2015 or 16. That's when I started to get back into running.
Okay.
It was around 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you, Chris?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like, as far as like all those huge nonprofits like Wounded Warrior Project, it's the only one in like a fairly really large radius, almost all the way to the outskirts of Austin and probably Cypress, I would assume.
Yeah, those are probably the nearest.
Yeah,
Houston, Austin.
It's at least an hour drive before you hit anywhere else where there's going to be another organization anywhere that can represent or support other veterans. And so I imagine, there's got to be, and with how small this area is, it's probably seen, the local Team RWB has probably seen a lot of growth, like throughout the years. Like, so what, like when did the local chapter start? Like, when it started here?
Yeah, it was in 2013 is when I guess traction really started to happen. This was kind of ties into my story and involvement with RWB, but I had known about RWB in 2013 because my battalion intel officer, Mike Irwin, started up Team RWB, and I'd seen on, at some point I got on Facebook and I kept seeing him post about Team RWB, and I just knew, I was like, if this is something that Mike is doing, or says is a good thing, then it has to be something that's good, just knowing Mike. And so I was looking for a chapter to be a part of, and at that time, Houston and Austin were the closest chapters, and there wasn't a whole lot of RWB chapters. I think the membership might have been around like 6,000, 7,000 total in 2013, which now it's, probably getting closer to 200,000 right now nationally.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
But, long story short, I got introduced to a guy who was wanting to start up a chapter here, and, went to the first social that they had and participated in the next coming events, and then, we ended up getting a leadership team together to move this thing and get a chapter started. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if the idea to start one happened in 2012, but 2013 is really when it started to gain some traction.
Okay. How many people were involved initially? You estimate?
I don't know. I mean, we didn't become an official recognized community until, I want to say it might have been, I'd have to go back and look. I can't remember if it's 2014 or 2015. But
we can kind of explain how that transition process, how it grew over time.
Yeah, I mean, there was, a guy named Tom who was basically starting to lead some of these events initially, and then I got super involved, and then I want to say January of 2014, around that time frame is when we got, I don't know, there's maybe somewhere around 8 to 10 people in the room, with this whole idea of hey, let's actually really build out a leadership team and do something with this. And maybe somewhere around 5 or 6 folks from that group, kind of committed to, filling a leadership role within the organization. or for the local chapter, and then kind of grew from there.
That's awesome. Like what kind of like so we can explain to the listeners, like what kind of events does Team RWB like do, like nationally, like stuff that they do for like veterans? I've seen the calendar for like here and some of the other ones, just kind of browsing what goes on because I'm still new to the whole Team RWB. So what kind of stuff do they, like other chapters do, and what kind of stuff do we do here locally? Like what's the, I know the social events and then the workouts too. Those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
I imagine those are gotta be good because it doesn't look like there's a cost for any of them. And like that's like working out is like so good for mental health, you know.
Yeah.
So I can imagine.
We try to keep it pretty reasonable as far as the price goes. I mean,
yeah.
If for the movie socials, if people can pay for their own tickets.
I'll
usually buy them a popcorn or something.
yeah.
Got to kind of give them a reason to come, you know.
Yeah. So like, what kind of stuff like are you guys allowed? Like, have you guys done what kind of stuff have you guys done in the past? Like, you guys done any like special like big events, or like?
I'd say probably
the Chuck Norris race was probably our biggest event that we had.
What is that? I've never heard of that.
Oh,
that sounds amazing.
Chuck Norris had a 5K here back in May. We had a pretty good turnout.
Wasn't Chuck Norris there?
Yeah,
I heard he was there.
Yeah.
He high-fived everybody that came across the finish line.
Oh, really? I would have stopped and been like, put me in a chokehold. Who's got a camera? Oh, that's something I would have done. Man, that's kind of cool. So, like, so it is kind of like a country area. Like, is there like, I'm kind of new to the area. Are there like places to go fishing around here? Or like, have you guys ever thought of doing stuff like that? As far as like,
I don't know if we've had a fishing event.
Is that something that's allowed?
Yeah. So I mean, the mission is physical and social activities. So yeah, if it fits into one of those categories, then and it's something that veterans want to do, then really it's just a matter of having someone to be able to lead that event.
Yeah.
So that they can make sure it's fun and all inclusive, that kind of thing. Yeah. Outside of that, it's kind of limitless.
There's somebody knocking at your door.
Someone is. Anyways, now that we're back, you didn't hear me cuss at anyone. Where were we? I don't remember where we're at.
Talking about events?
Yeah.
Events.
Oh, yeah.
Fishing events.
Yes. What kind of events, like social events, have you guys done in the past?
So far, we've just, the monthly movie socials have been a pretty big hit.
Yeah. I signed up for that one, but I wasn't feeling too hot.
Yeah, I was looking for you.
I was sleeping.
I was like, where is he? Like, he's ghosting me. We're supposed to be going on a date right now, and he's like,
I'm sorry.
Not here.
I let you down. Promise I'll hold your hand in the next social.
Deal. We used to do monthly dinners, but those kind of fell off. I don't have the time to maintain those right now.
Yeah.
Movie socials. I love watching movies. So.
What kind of dinners would you guys like do? Would you guys do like barbecues, or do you like go to a place and do them?
Yeah, we would just meet up at a place and do them.
We
went to like C&J's or went to like Wings and More.
Yeah.
Just meet up at a designated time.
Okay.
And a day.
Okay.
Just have a good time and be social.
Yeah. So how did you specifically like get involved with the socials, like running them? Were you better at it? Like, are you just did you get voluntold?
Really not a people person, and I just kind of wanted to step out of my comfort zone and put myself out there.
Yeah.
When I first got involved with the chapter, I was doing local races like 5Ks, 10Ks.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really feeling those very much, so I said, I kind of want to do something more, and we needed a social events coordinator, so I said, sign me up for that. Let's do that. I love doing fun things, so why not?
That's cool. So what kind of you don't have to name any names of anyone that's local, but what kind of stuff do you guys see within that's going on within veterans locally? What's the spectrum that you guys have seen that has that veterans deal with, and what kind of helps them individually?
See a lot of mental health issues. Speaking personally, myself, I've dealt with a lot of mental health issues since being out, and other veterans that I've met through RWB, they've dealt with the same things, and I think what helps us is just that connection with the other veterans and building that brotherhood.
Yeah,
and
I think connection is a good big part of it.
Yeah, I think I think some of the things that veterans deal with are, they're people issues.
Yeah.
I think that, because in our mission statement, a part of it is enriching veterans' lives, and how we define enrichment is through health, people, and purpose. Those are three things that RWB offers as a part of being a part of the team. And I think that that's consistent whether you're a veteran or not. Like you mentioned, being active is good for your physical health and mental health, which veterans are able to get that through, and just members through the physical events that are put on. The people, that connection piece, like you guys talked about. I believe that without connection, there is suffering. So again, it's a people thing. When people start to isolate themselves, and not really be connected to others, is then they start getting into a bad place. And through our events, you're able to make those connections, and those things are even strengthened through doing things that are challenging and hard. And then the purpose piece, being a part of something bigger than yourself. And then for some of us, it's an opportunity to serve again. You can be a leader as a part of Team RWB and serve the community in the chapter. So I think there's probably aspects of each of those that folks deal with, maybe, they're missing the connection, or they're missing the health piece or the purpose piece, one of those three. And, I think that's countrywide. It's not necessarily specific
I think it's countrywide
here locally. But I know those are some of the value that I get out of RWB is, it gives me purpose, and I get that connection, and, and I've gotten super active, in 2013, I had done no self-care, I hadn't taken care of myself physically or mentally or any of that stuff. And then, I was now starting to work on almost a decade in the military, 7 deployments and stuff. And I just was not in a good place, and I was getting less and less active. And then, getting involved in RWB really, kind of changed that. Even changed some of my mindset too, because, I got into the point where I was I'm all broken, and, I just, I've got these injuries, and I can't, I just can't do this stuff. And then it was going out to the first race that we did with RWB as a 5K. And I was I'm just going to walk it, But then I was no, I can't do that. I'm gonna at least run some of it,
Yeah.
And and so it's it was challenging me to do more and be more active, and and I'm continuing to do that to the point to I now understand that fitness, and being active is just, it benefits so many other aspects of your life.
Even if you're not lifting crazy heavy weights,
right?
The simple fact of moving around.
Yeah.
You could, going on a hike or something simple.
Yep. That's like a buddy of mine. He's retiring. One of my old teammates, he's retiring in December, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, look, man, like whatever you do, like still continue to work out. Like don't drop that stuff. You know, you've been doing it now for 20 years straight. You know, like don't take that out of your life. And you know, and we're talking about it, and you know what that means. It doesn't mean you have to continue to run. If you hate running, like don't run. You know, if you like kayaking, like or just walking, something like continue to move. You know, whatever you enjoy doing, but you know, keeping that active piece with your life, I think, is just beneficial all around.
It's interesting because like you know I'm in no way like a medical professional or a psychologist or a sociologist of any type, but I do have that mindset that I do like to read and research stuff. And one of the things I remember, I'm no way affiliated with this person at all, but Sebastian Junger, I don't know if you heard of him.
Yeah.
So he did a little piece on PTSD within veterans, and I remember he was talking about how during some of his research, him and the people he works with, when 9/11 happened, admissions into mental health hospitals went down, and it was because everyone came together as a community and everyone was feeling connected.
Yeah, suicide rates went down, all that stuff.
All of it went down. So that's like a huge
crime went down
aspect for RWB. Is like, you know, they have so much influence in this area. You know, it's like this area, it's huge. You know, it's for this area, being the only, you know.
Yeah, and I think as time goes on, we're becoming more and more of like an isolated, you know, nation. Like, you know, with and I think a good example of this is someone was telling me that I don't know how consistent. This is a small sample, so I don't know how spread out this is. But someone was telling me about some 16-year-olds that, you know, are not getting their driver's license, and you know they're becoming 18 years old and still haven't gone out and gotten a driver's license. And I thought it was really weird, you know, because when I was a kid, you know, as soon as you could get your driver's license, you got it. And I still feel this way today, that like driving is freedom, you know, because I can go and do whatever I want, you know, and go wherever I want. And I guess some teenagers don't feel this, you know, that's not something that they don't need it. And I was wondering why they don't have that same kind of feeling. But I was told is that the technology piece, social media and texting and all that stuff, you know, they're able to connect with people that way. So there's not a need for them to necessarily go out somewhere. Where, I mean, for me as a kid, it was like, this is now the gateway to be able to get out into the world. And you know, go hang out with people, go do stuff, whatever. And
so true.
But so I think maybe that's part of it. And you know, I don't know. I think, you know, it's less and less of a community feel, you know, with neighbors. You know, how many people truly know their neighbors. And I've even heard somebody say that the like garage door opener was like, you know, contributing to like killing, you know, that community feel, because people just like, they come home straight from work, go right into the garage, shut the door, and you know, and so it's not, you're not connecting with those people that are around you. Yeah. And
growing up, we did that too. Like Christmas time, we take gifts to our neighbors.
It's my neighborhood is wanting to organize, like, I mean, it's a small little neighborhood, but they're wanting to organize like a little fall parade, and I mean, it's going to go like, you know, half mile or something, and it'll probably be like, you know, like a few pickup trucks and some kids on bicycles, you know. But they're asking people to help with it, and I'm like, you know, I really don't have time to do any of that, but I'm going to find a way to help out at least a little bit, because, you know, this is like, these are my neighbors. Like, if I'm not connecting with them, you know, like, I think I'm like failing at just being a member of my little community, my little neighborhood, you know. And I think like RWB does really good at, you know, providing that that community, and for people that have had maybe similar experiences or not, still an opportunity to connect with others.
Mm-hmm. So like how can you see what kind of growth potential do you see in the future with this type of mission in this area? How small it is and the population of veterans.
Yeah, I mean there's always going to be continued. Well, I would say new members joining. Part of it is that it's a transient area. Where you have veterans that come in to go to school at A&M. They're here for however long, and then they, move out. So, I mean, that will always be there. And that it's not necessarily a bad thing, they come and be a part of the local chapter, and then when they finish school and, move on to go work somewhere, I mean, it's totally normal. So I think that will always be there. And there's always room to continue to grow. And I really think because RWB's been so much word of mouth, it's been a very grassroots, I mean, just nationwide.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see, we're starting to do this year as far as TV ads, and you maybe have seen some sponsored ads through social media and stuff like that. But really, the growth has been word of mouth, kind of like, we were talking to Jim. I was like, hey, man, come out to this 9/11 thing,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really how the growth has happened, which is pretty amazing considering, 2010, it started, and, from nothing, and then now is, grown to what it is, a lot through word of mouth.
Yeah. I remember hearing about Team RWB through another friend of mine. I used to ride a bike all the time, and I was living out there by San Antonio, and I rode. I didn't care what time of day it was, 10 o'clock at night. Just threw on a couple of lights and went for it. If I crashed, I crashed. It wasn't a big deal to me. I was out there. I rode 8 miles to one end of this trail, and there's other veterans out there with his truck, and he starts chatting me up, and he's like, you want to ride back? It's getting pretty late. And I was like, no, I'm good, man. But he was so nice, and I ended up exchanging numbers with him, and I rode back, and I was like, hey, man, it was good meeting you. Thanks for offering that ride and checking on me, make sure I was safe. Not a lot of veterans do that to other veterans, and it was kind of nice. And I heard he was with Team RWB then, and he does a lot of bike rides with him and stuff like that. And that's how I heard about it too. And then he was friends with another veteran that lives 20 miles somewhere up that way. I can't remember his name. And I don't want to go spouting off names on here anyways without their permission, but they both went on a ride across the country together through another organization that was, I don't remember what it was called. And I guess the guy local got in an accident or something happened, but I ended up he was one of the first veterans I knew out here, and so that was kind of it was he was moving from one end of Texas into another area where I knew no one.
Yeah.
And then it's all about connecting with people, and it's I didn't really the more you got out, the more you start building connections and stuff like that. And it was just once you start getting out in the area, I was meeting veterans left and right. I was just HEB, coming people, you a veteran? Yeah, you a veteran? Yeah. I'm like, oh, change phone numbers. I probably have 20 different phone numbers. I don't even remember who they are. I either didn't label them or just stopped contacting them, and they're all veterans. I met them, it was at least once a week, and it was crazy. so like this, I realized how many veterans there were in this like such a small area, and then I think I knew the only organization in the area was Team RWB, so I was in contact with, what was his name? Guada. Yeah. He was a good guy, but I guess he was like out of town or something like that while I was moving, and I don't remember. I think he was on vacation or something. I don't remember. But yeah, and so it was just like, and then when I was, I started working at the gun range, I met you over there, and just things started like, that's when the momentum really started picking up with how much I was going to be connecting, with everyone, and how much I needed to stay connected with everyone. Not just for myself, but, for everyone else too. Because that's something I'm really good at doing, is connecting people and being connected with them.
Nice. You should volunteer.
Oh, I will.
The leadership team.
I will, eventually. Once I get better at managing my personal life.
Could use a social coordinator.
I could do that. I'm pretty good with that. I'll be ended up running it like the coaches at our gym. With the wrong workouts up there. But yeah, so as far as like what you guys have done in the past, like what kind of things like do you think would also help that you guys have never like what kind of things have you guys thought about across the board that you might put on the future for like future social events or future what other things have you guys thought about doing or?
We're going to be playing a game night to play board games.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that's kind of in the works right now.
Maybe like X-rated what's that card game?
No, Cards Against Humanity's out of the.
Oh, that would have been funny.
we're trying to bring families.
Oh yeah.
Kind of into the fold.
You'd have to do that.
Veterans with their kids.
It'd have to be on a specific dude or no children night,
Our last game night, we had Cards Against Humanity, and we had to kind of whisper it a little bit.
It's when you put the kids in the other room, right. They turn on the TV really loud so they can't hear it.
They were in the living room, we were in the kitchen, which was not divided by anything. So they were like, Dad, what's a penis?
Yeah, I think
change the topic.
Probably variety of events. Because some people maybe don't want to do a certain type of event, but they want to do another. And that goes across the board with physical and social events. But yeah, I think having a variety is good. Go ahead.
Do you guys work with the SVO on campus at all?
Yeah, we're pretty big on partnering with other veteran organizations.
Okay.
I think maybe there was this mentality several years ago. Maybe it never has been with RWB as far as there's a competition or anything like that to get the most members or keep the members over here or anything like that. It's very much we understand that there's our mission is different from another organization's, and there's certain things that we can provide that maybe they can provide something that's totally different. Both are beneficial, and by working together, we're able to, if there's a veteran and this happens, we run into veterans that, hey, they need something else that, hey, RWB doesn't do that. You're welcome to still come hang out with us, but this other organization that we partner with, they're going to
right direction.
Exactly, and make those referrals, and that happens both ways. Or other organizations meet folks. It's like, hey, you know what, RWB would be a really good fit for you. Let me link you up. And I think the veteran space as a whole has gotten pretty good at working together like that. And it's even looking like that the VA is now starting to, at least, refer veterans to a certain degree to those community organizations, and I think, and it may be part of it because they've recognized that, hey, there's certain things that we can do at the VA, and we can't necessarily provide that community feel or, help someone continue to be active. And they know that, hey, this is something this person needs in their life. We can't provide that. And either the veteran suffers or we start to work with these other organizations outside of the VA system and ultimately, help out the veteran, whole health wise.
Yeah, you have like some organizations that can specialize in some things or specialize in other things, and other organizations, and you guys kind of like bounce off of each other and provide support across different paths for the veterans. So I see on your shirt you have Lodge for Warriors. I saw that like on Team RWB's social media, and I don't know what it is. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so it's a national event that we have every year, it's not necessarily. I mean, there are chapters that are going to be participating at a local gym potentially, or it can be done at a park too. But it's also open to any box or any gym that wants to host this themselves, because it's an opportunity. There's a couple components to it. Is that to expose people to RWB that maybe don't know about the organization. It's free to participate. If you want to donate, you can. If you want to buy the shirt, you can. But you don't have to. You can still go do it for free.
Either way, like donating or buying the shirt, the proceeds actually get used for events and veterans. So
100% of the proceeds go back to Team RWB, which is ultimately funding the chapters that, most everything is low or no cost. So if there is a cost to some things, there's the possibility that the local chapter can offset some of those. And that's where the money's going to. But here locally, I was actually talking with the folks at Sawed Off about hosting Lodge for Warriors, which they've done it the last 2 years, and talking with one of the coaches, they're like, yeah, you can put us down for it every year. So
when is it?
It's looking like it's going to be November 16th. But
the workout is the workout. So WOD stands for Workout of the Day, in case anyone doesn't know. Do you guys know ahead of time what the workouts are? Or is it like something that's set the same thing every year, or is it different?
No, it's changed each year. Last year it was a 11-minute AMRAP. There's two versions. One where you have access to like barbell and pull-up bar and stuff like that, and then another one, a scalable version where it's just body weight type exercises. This year it's a 22 AMRAP. Nice. But it's a partner workout is the idea with that, which I really love that idea because you're working out with someone, but then I know that I'm going to be dead weight for somebody is the only downside for it.
We can be partners.
Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, I'll do it, man. But again, there will be an option to do like some barbell cleans if you want, or if you don't have access to the equipment, or if the local chapter is doing it out in the park, there's a body weight option for it as well.
You guys do workouts how often, like as part of the community, the local community?
Twice a week. We have a Monday evening workout, and then we have a Wednesday.
And what do you guys?
Wednesday workout.
What do those workouts usually comprise of? How often do you guys change it up? What's the mix up?
Ooh, I'm not the right person to ask. No. I'm the social director.
Yeah, there's also at least once a month like a Saturday or Sunday morning run.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's every chapter for the most part is trying to fit that into their schedule.
Yeah.
Which is the dark and early donut run.
There are donuts there.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean there is. I mean, a lot of chapters are doing that too. Is where maybe they go and run. People want to do that, cool, and then they go to like a donut shop or coffee shop afterwards and hang out. And so folks can do both. They can do one or the other, But yeah, that's happening once a month, and then I think, I look at a whole lot of chapters. So if this ends up not being correct, but I think there may have been another run.
It's a Tuesday morning run.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Right. That just kicked off. Yeah, we're doing Tuesday morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's a couple different physical activities that are going on.
Are there a lot of are there a lot of other veterans that show up to those other activities too? That I may not have met?
Yeah, it's pretty consistent as far as who shows up. It's usually the same people. But any number of people that show up, it's a win for us.
Yeah.
We get to connect with that person.
Yeah, exactly. Connect work and kind of grow your your local connections, a little family around here. So,
exactly. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come out and start meeting new people.
It's
gonna be good for me.
I really want to go to the Rambo movie. Is that the one that you were?
I was originally set to go to that one, and
you
then
stood me up.
I totally ghosted you on it. Yeah.
I really wanted to go to that one, but I've been out of town the whole week.
Yeah, I heard it was a really good movie.
Oh, absolutely the best Rambo movie.
Yeah, I'm totally that guy.
Right.
I'm I'll be sneaking stuff in my leg.
That might I might be exaggerating a little bit. It was a little cheesy, but it was real.
I mean, it's got to be cheesy though, I saw Godzilla, here at home a while back, and I read all these reviews on it, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's the worst movie ever." I'm like, they're like, the story was horrible, but I'm like, it's Godzilla. It's about the action, It's not about the story. I'm not watching this for the story. I want to see all the action. I'm totally that guy. I won't name the movie theater I did it in, but one time I snuck a 2-liter soda in. There's another story of a veteran, or not a veteran, but he's an amputee, and he wore pants to the movie theater, and he's amputated way up at his hip, and so he tied off the pants at the very bottom, and he went to the store with all of his friends, and he put the 2-liter soda inside of his pant leg. And he's walking around. I think it's on YouTube too. He's walking around in the movie theater on crutches, and the 2-liter soda's swinging everywhere. And he was on his on the YouTube. He was it was really funny. He was the security lady was staring at me funny. And he was like, "But let's be honest. What is she going to say to me?
Right?
Sir, there appears to be something wrong with your leg." You don't say.
How dare you?
But is there anything else you guys like to add before we conclude it? End it?
Yeah. I was thinking back to when you were telling me about when we first moved here.
Yeah.
All the connections you made with veterans, right away, it was opposite for me.
Yeah,
complete opposite. I knew nobody when I came here, and I tried connecting with coworkers who are non-veterans. That doesn't work. That doesn't work as well as you would think.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got involved with RWB, it was immediately. Started meeting veterans, and I was able to connect with people that knew what I had gone through, or they had experienced similar situations.
Yeah. Well, it gets kind of I guess one of the reasons why I connect really easy with people is when you're missing a leg, you stand out, and it's when you're in a community that's like this, everyone off the bat just assumes that you're a veteran. You go to Houston, Dallas, or San Antonio. no one pays attention to it at all. No one asks you anything. You know, as far as they're concerned, you probably lost your leg to cancer. You know, it's a completely different story living in the metros versus here. And so I was able to connect with a lot of people. Like one of the first people I connected with was a local prosthetic guy. He's also a veteran too. Like he's got a gun range on his property. He's actually invited me out a couple of times. I ghosted him a couple of times. You know, it's just so many people to keep up with. You know, it's like I got
ghosting people.
I'm trying to like stay connected with my peers. You know what I mean? And like he's a lot older than me. He's a really cool guy. And maybe it's like I had a bunch of veterans, you know, that would go out there. I think I feel a little more comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just that huge age difference. And he's still a cool guy. I actually, one of the cool things about it is like, you know, hopefully my military prosthetist is not listening to this, but he will every now and then work on my legs if there's something wrong with it. You know? But it's like, I either drive 3 hours or I'm like, hey, what's wrong? I text them and be like, can I come in and have you look at this real quick? You know, before I drive 3 hours. You know, is this something I can go into Lowe's and fix on myself or what? Yeah. But,
you know, before you said local prosthetics guy, I thought you were about to say local prostitute, and I got worried there.
Oh, sometimes I refer to my prosthetics guy as a prostitute. I'm just like, the name sounds so familiar.
Close.
Yeah, I'll just be like, you know, when I call him up, I'm like, hey, what's going on, prostitute? Like, you know, you gonna hook me up today or what? What's your rate? But he's kind of cool about it too, you know. There's a big group that I went through physical therapy with. I'm connected with a lot of them over there. Amputees, veterans, everywhere. I mean, I feel like I've met, you know, a lot of veterans, and I love meeting new ones because I'm like, everyone has a different story, you know, and it's like, yeah, my story's pretty cool, but it's like, I want to know everyone else's story. And that was the reason why I kind of started this podcast right here. You know, I just want to hear what all the other veterans are doing and hear their stories, spread their word out, because I feel like a lot of veteran stories and veteran communities kind of go unheard of. It's like to me, they're all equally important. So, is there anything else? So what's going on this week for local Team RWB?
Well, we got the Mogadishu Mile is happening right now, I believe, at Wolfton Creek.
Oh, that's right. Were you going to do it? Were you going to? No. Okay.
I thought I was going to do the podcast still.
Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a man of his word.
That would have been kind of fun. We should have. Too bad we couldn't have done the podcast over there. That would have been kind of cool.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we've got a social ruck happening in downtown Bryan.
Really?
Over at the Blackwater Draw.
Okay.
Yeah. You should go there.
I might show up to that. Yeah, that sounds actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
You know what I should?
His name Evan.
You know what I should do is get like a little cheap laptop so I can plug these things into. That way I can just take my podcast mobile.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be done.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, because I don't need an internet connection for it. I just need to record it and upload it when I get home.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways, so there you have it. And that concludes our second episode of Whiskey Tango Foxtrot Podcast. I appreciate you guys coming on. Taking your time out of your day to come over here and talk to me.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Yeah.